extra signal from? Wow, interesting. Going to be a learning experience. All right, let's start over, guys. Have you ever asked yourself, could I do, be, or have that? And had that fire in your eyes, only to shoot yourself down and say, well, I'm just not that kind of person. You notice the shoulder shrink and everything else here. Or that's for other people, who were born with money or who had a better education than I did, or blah, blah. Whatever excuse you want to use in that spot, what would be your excuse? Okay, so again, have you ever looked and said, could I really do, be, or have that with that fire and energy, only to shoot yourself down and go, not that kind of person, or that's for people that have X, Y, Z. Or worse yet, have somebody you love shoot you down, right? So the truth is, you can do, be, and have whatever it is you want. Okay? And this isn't going to be some sales pitch for the newest, multi-level marketing or this, that. No, guys, this is Breakthrough with Lew show. Breakthrough with Coach Lew on Monday mornings. The caveat is you can have it all if you are willing to do what it takes. Yes, that's what it breaks it down to. Okay? Yeah, there's the lucky club, okay, that was born into money. But you know how many of the lucky club end up under a bridge somewhere, or end up having all kinds of emotional problems? Look at the Kardashians, born into all kinds of money, and look at the screwed up lives they live. And the people that follow them and go, oh, I want to be one of them. No, do you really? Okay. So did you ever ask a little boy or a little girl what they want to be when they grow up? And the answer many times is a firefighter. Right? Almost every, especially little boys growing up, but a lot of little girls now too. But use this as an example. I want to be a firefighter. Okay? And when you look back now, how many of your friends from grade school that wanted to be a firefighter actually became one? One or two? I think I know two that are actually became and followed through with being firefighters, right? So you got to ask yourself the question, when you saw that little one's eyes, and this, you can fill in whatever job you want there, depending on where you were at that age and where your friends were, but we're using the firefighter example. What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm going to be a fireman. So the ones that didn't actually follow through and become a fireman, why not? Why didn't they? Well, number one, it might not have really been their passion. You might have seen the TV show Towering Inferno or something and gone, I'm going to be a firefighter. And it was a fleeting thought. It wasn't real passion. But maybe it was. The other one is maybe they lacked the capability or motivation. Okay? Maybe, okay, I want to be a firefighter, but I don't want to put in the hours of training for that. Okay? Not everybody's got that kind of motivation, and unfortunately some people don't have the capability. Now that's where it's a little more sad, Got no arms, as born without arms. Chances of being a firefighter are not real great in that situation. Not that it couldn't happen, but that would be a physical incapability, okay? Number three could be lack the family support. I want to be a firefighter. No, go get a real job. You don't want to do that. That's too dangerous. Oh no, that's for other people. That's for the hero boys, the ones that are out on the football field, the strong boys. You're a learner. You're a, you'd be surprised at the things kids are told as children. They're not told you can be whatever you want to be. They're told, oh, play it safe, do this, do that, especially now with the helicopter parents of, we don't want to offend their child by telling them to step up, be a girl, be a boy, be a man. I'm listening to the book from Matthew McConaughey. And, I don't know if I love the book or I don't yet. It's really different, but, it's definitely a good read or a good listen to kind of wake you up into some realities. But anyway, that's an offshoot. So maybe this person found another passion. Maybe they wanted to be a firefighter and decided to be a doctor to really help people at the next level. Because, the firefighter is going to help them get out of the burning building and help them get to the hospital. But what about them? And they found their passion in that end of it, or whatever the case is. And number 5 being the worst, they fell into a safe career with a future and a retirement. They got a government job, clicking a keyboard at the post office or something. It's secure and it's safe, and you're going to have a retirement someday. Barring, unless that's your outcome. Maybe you're very, safety oriented, and you don't want that. You don't want to be climbing ladders or, being a paramedic or something like that. And it's not for everybody. I get it, but I'm just saying, take that youngin' that wanted to be a firefighter and really had that passion. There's 5 things that just killed the passion of that child, and maybe that's why they didn't become a firefighter. If they had the real passion, like I say, maybe it was a fleeting, I want to be a fireman. I think every kid said that at one point, but did they really mean it? So what about the 1 or 2 that actually did? This is the exciting part. Why did they actually follow through? Why did they become a firefighter? Why are they climbing, ladders and running into burning buildings now as adults? And maybe, in some cases, I've known some people that were firefighters that have retired and gone on to other businesses, but had lived their passion and their dream of being a firefighter, okay? So why did they actually do it, okay? The passion was deep, deep within them. When you said, what do you want to be when you grow up? They didn't go, fireman, and run off and play and, hang out. They were like, a fireman. And they went and listened to their scanner, and they climbed up the tree and, put on a fire helmet. And, this kid, you were like, they're born to be a firefighter. Okay? Number 2, they did the work. They got strong. They learned. They focused even from a young age because that was their burning passion. And number 3, they probably had somebody go, you know what? You can do this. If that's really what you want, get out there and climb that rope. Get out there and take an extra gym class. Get out there and take the sports that are going to strengthen you and teach you this. And get into the academy right away. And, all this cool stuff. They had somebody in their corner. Now, not everybody that succeeds has somebody in their corner, but a lot of times they do, or they found a mentor. And they said, one of the times Mom and Dad took them to the firehouse to go check it out. One of the firefighters looked and said, that was me when I was 10. And talked to the kid and, kind of mentored him, right? Wow. And number 4, they harnessed the power of pushing through to do what it really takes, that power of why. There is no other option but to go forward and go full out, right? Okay, so you get where I'm coming from here. Awesome stuff. All right, so that's the difference. You see that the big difference is not only the power of why, having some support and belief, but that power to believe that you can, and then the power to follow through, okay? So let me ask you a question. Are you living the dream that you had when you were a child, or even better yet, in a lot of cases, found later in life when, there wasn't 2 career options in your path? Like there may have been, as a kid, either, if you were a boy, you were going to be a firefighter. If you were a girl, you were going to be a nurse or something like that. It might have been a little skewed when you're a child, but are you living your dream? And if you're not, ask yourself why or why not. What part of what we just discussed is lacking? Or if you're living the dream, what part did you harness to get there? Because that's what's going to get you to the next level. And if you didn't make it, and you're not doing what you want, and you're stuck in some office job that you hate, and in some corporate environment where you got to kiss a lot of butt just to stay employed, let alone grow. God forbid you grow. Your next level management's afraid of you. That's not the case in all corporate. There's lots of good corporate jobs. But think about that. Think you're stuck there and you're going, I was going to be a firefighter. I was going to be a paramedic. I was going to be whatever your dream was as a child or as a young adult, and ask yourself why or why not are you there? Now I know this sounds very career oriented. There's a whole myriad of things you could apply this to, but career is very easy to apply this concept to, guys. Let's face it. Can you look in the mirror right now and look yourself in the eyes and say, I'm living my dream? If so, kudos to you. That is awesome. Could there be a next level you could take it to? Sure. But are you living your dream? Do you get up each day and go, I'm living my dream. I'm loving this. If not, would it be worth making a decision today to begin now rather than let this life of yours come and go, never living your dream? Okay, and you might go, my dream is this, but there's no money in it. Okay, well, I want to be a rock star. Okay, I want to be a dancer. Okay, well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're not going to shift gears. Maybe you've got an amazing business and something amazing going on. You're not going to just go, all right, I'm going to start taking guitar lessons. I'm going to shut the business down and, unless you're wealthy enough to be able to do that, and go play guitar on the road for a year with a band and learn, or I want to go learn, to immerse myself in Spanish and go live in Spain for a year. And now if you got the possibility of doing that, and you can do that without train wrecking your life, that's awesome. So maybe you do go, well, I did have a dream, I let it go, but I can still do it, and it doesn't mean that's got to be your lifelong career. Maybe you want to play guitar. Go get some guitar lessons, get a guitar, go play some guitar. And maybe you find out you're a guitar hero. Maybe you find out that you just love it and it's just something you love to do, and you go, well, the cool thing is I've got this really good job which affords me the time and money to be able to do my dream. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you were going to be the rock star on the stage. That might not have been the real dream. The real dream may have been to play guitar and sound good. And maybe it is to be a rock star on the stage. But my whole point is, would it be worth making a decision here and today to go for your dream, whether it's all out in what you do for a business or a career, or whether it's an addition to what you do, rather than going to the end of life and going, wish I had learned to play guitar, wish I had learned to speak Spanish, wish I had been a firefighter. And you might go, well, I'm kind of old to be a firefighter right now, or a police officer. Turn on the show called The Rookie. I don't watch a lot of TV, but there's prime example of an older guy who became a police officer. Now, it's a TV show, and you might say, oh, that's just fantasy. Oh, there's people out there that become officers in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s. Okay? If you really want it, you're going to go for it. And you got to believe you can. But my whole point is not to get you to make a career change today. Maybe it is. If that's what needs to happen, maybe today's the day you make a decision and you put the map in and make the ball start rolling. So you want to know how to do this? I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. All right, here's the steps. Number one, get really clear on what, who, and how you want to be. Write it out, create you. Okay, I don't know how else to tell you this. Get really clear who, what, and how you want to be. What is your new standard? Okay, so number one, you could say setting your standard for what your life is, for what you want. Okay, you can't have wishy-washy. Well, I kind of like to, and wish I coulda, shoulda. You're going to should all over yourself. Okay, shouldn't all over yourself doesn't get you anywhere. Make it clear. Okay. Set a standard for who you are and what you want and how you want to be. Just that simple. Okay, number two, you got to decide that you deserve it, number one. You got to deserve this. You got to feel like, you got to truly want it in your heart. You can't kind of go, well, I kind of like to try that out. That's not a passion. To want to live it, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, is a passion. Okay, to want to be a firefighter because you want to drive around fast and blow the siren doesn't mean anything till you get out of that truck and you walk in that burning building, or you pull that child out of a wreck and save their life. That's the passion of the heart. I want to drive around with sirens and lights and, have girls look at you, or if you're a girl firefighter, have guys look at you. That's not the reason you want to do it. Might be a little nice side effect, but your real passion begins when the little delusion ends of what you're doing. Okay, number 3, commit, commit, commit. Commit, commit, commit. So that's number 3, 3 times. Commit that you're willing to do what it takes and do it. Okay. Number 4, create a timeline, a map of what does it take to get from here to here. Okay. Here is where you are. Here is where you want to be. There is a gap in between and there's a bridge that needs to be built and you need to map out how to get from here to here. It's pretty darn simple. Might not be easy doing it, but it's simple. You gotta map it out. If you don't know where you're going, and I've beaten this example to death of the airplane that takes off from New York headed for Los Angeles, and they hit winds and diversions and stuff. And if they just kind of randomly went in that direction, they'd fall out of the sky at some point and run out of fuel, because they wouldn't know exactly where they're going. When they know exactly where they're going, that plane comes down almost on a dime within feet of the initial destination, okay? Not, somewhere, we're over the ocean, okay, screw it, we missed LA, pull the plug, dump everybody in the ocean. It's not the way it works. It's not the way you work. Okay, then you got to take the necessary actions. You got to follow through. You got to build the habits. You got to go, 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 go. Live it, do it, breathe it every day. Not just think about it, go wish, could have, I'll get to it next week, or whatever. And you lose momentum. It's like bath water. If you don't keep heating it up, it's going to go cool and cold on you. Okay, so will your dreams. Number 6, you got to celebrate that freedom of choice, to have the choice to direct your own life. Now, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I'm gonna, I'm doing this. I'm jumping in. I'm gonna do this, the XYZ. It's a passion of mine. Not necessarily going to be my first career." And some people dump it and go, you know what? I'm throwing everything to the side and going full in, and that's the best way. And depending on what you're doing. But some people are like, no, this is truly, as I've grown to be an adult, this is a hobby. But it's a hobby I got a passion for. Okay, maybe your hobby can make you extra money too, but being able to live it's what's important. But celebrate that freedom of choice to be able to do it. You want to learn to play guitar like a guitar hero. Celebrate the fact you were able to buy a good guitar. You didn't have to buy a First Act $99 guitar. Now, if that's all you can afford and that's where you start, that's where you start. But my point being is maybe, your success from what really wasn't your dream set you up to be able to succeed in your dream. Okay? You want some truth? You know what one of my biggest passions was when I was a kid? Yeah, I wanted to be a firefighter, and I used to chase the fire trucks when they'd go get dispatched, and I had my scanner and everything, and it was pretty high up on the list, but I didn't do it. You know why? You know what was my real passion? I wanted to be a teacher, okay? Not necessarily a teacher that sat in the room and, ate cupcake wrappers like our librarian did. She was so big, she not only ate the cupcake, she ate the damn wrapper. That's a memory of me from childhood that was just pretty random, but it was pretty funny because I caught her doing it and I got sent to the office for it. But hey, you're the one that ate the cupcake wrapper and I called you out and you sent me to the office. But regardless, it was funny, but it stuck with me that she was so bored that she ate herself into oblivion. But my thing was, I always looked and thought, if I were the teacher, this is what I would do to make it fun. This is what I would do to bring it to real life. And da-da-da-da. And what are we doing today? What am I doing with you today? Teaching. In a different twist, in a self-education environment. But I'm teaching. I'm living one of my greatest passions, but not in a way of, teaching from a curriculum that I don't believe in. Teaching real world action to get you to take real world action and have real world success. See, this is the really cool part of this, is when you look at it, how many times do you actually end up living a passion of yours? How cool is that? Wow. All right, guys, I've been committed to getting the show a little shorter, a little more impact in a little less time. How about a whole lot more impact in less time, to get you to have the time to take action right afterwards, right after the show? Take action. Do these steps. Go over to the site, accelerate-life.com, and see the replays and read the posts and do the exercise and start living your dreams. Start living the life you deserve. Live the true passion in your heart. What do you think of that? Awesome, guys. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lew signing off. Have an amazing day.
Ready to take it to the next level? Next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.